Far Eastern Private School.
The biggest problems the world is facing today are not at all beyond our control. Rather, they are all of our own making and entirely in our power to deal with. According to Jared Diamond, a civilization scholar, scientist, and author of the famous book, The World Until Yesterday, our beloved Habiba al-Marashi, judges, mentors, and fellow environmentalists, good day. My name is Michelle Calibara, and I am proud to represent our school, the 4 Eastern Private School. I am here in front of you to tell everyone that the topic we have chosen is significant and crucial, not only in the eyes and ears of the judges, but to the entire human race. Overpopulation versus overconsumption. Which should we focus? Should we let our eyes get blinded with how the world cries and shouts for help? One of those problems related to population growth is overpopulation. Overpopulation is a term that refers to a condition by which the population density enlarges to a limit that provokes the environmental deterioration, a remarkable decline in the quality of life. 1,000 years ago, the world's population was only about 0.3 billion. Last July 2014, the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs Population Division estimated that Earth's population reached 7.244 billion. And by July 2015, it will rise up to 7.325 billion. According to the US Census, it will continue to rise up about 9.5 billion in 2050. Large number, isn't it? How did we grow so much, so fast? Births are cancelled out by deaths. But while we are having lots of newborn babies, the death rate remains the same. Is it due to, first, enhanced science and technology, especially in highly developed countries, where better medicine and better agriculture are starting to slow the leak from the bottom of the glass? Second, lack of education and family planning, that modern methods of birth control and family planning usually don't reach the illiterate population. Third, social pressure that, according to old folks, if a family produces less, can be humiliated as the weakest. Or climate change, which results to global warming, global dimming, fossil fuels, sea level rise, urban heat islands, greenhouse gas, ocean acidification, environmental impact of the coal industry, flooding, etc. But why do we keep on blaming technology and environmental problems? Let us check this illustration. Glasses of water represents America, UK, UAE, Japan, India, China, and Philippines. The fuller the glasses get, the more people there are. Water drips in as babies are born. Water drips out as people die. So this is the entire world. I wonder why population still increases after all wars and epidemics that we have encountered throughout the years. We have the World War II, which reached to 85 millions of deaths. The Mongol conquest, one of the deadliest conflicts in the human history that killed 70 million people. And the Three Kingdom Wars in China that killed 40 million people. We have encountered the Ebola virus that hits the western part of Africa. It reached up to 10,587 deaths by April 10, 2015. During the 429 to 426 BC, Greece suffered from the plague of Athens that killed 100 million of residents. Thousands and millions of deaths, but why is it that our population remains ascending? We discovered that an effect of overpopulation, overconsumption arise. Overconsumption, on the other hand, is a term that defines a state in which renewable resources are being exhausted at a high rate. As the population of the world gets higher, more food and resources will be needed to sustain this large group of consumers. But where in this part of the world has the highest number of consumers? Let me name some. India, China, Brazil, and of course my country, the Philippines. This is a dangerous misconception because it diverts attention from where it is desperately needed, which is reigning in the runaway consumption of the world's wealthy and middle classes, and transforming their economies to make them sustainable and fair. In Britain, million tons of fully operating computers, cellular phones, washing machines, and fridges are thrown every year. Britain is one of the richest countries in the world, but it doesn't mean that they are entitled to buy and throw everything. In this country, the UAE, during Ramadan, have you imagined how many tons of food are being dumped? Dubai particularly is preparing for Expo 2020. How much did the government allot for that matter? Buy and throw is the motto of the current generation. Rich people overconsumes, while poor people overpopulates. What an irony, but it is the truth. Overconsumption is draining the planet at a terrifying rate and making it increasingly inhospitable to everyone, especially to the poorest people who are the affected of the state of the natural environment. Poorest families have the highest number of children. They hardly eat a complete meal, drink clean water, breathe fresh air, and live a comfortable life. Pity on them. Sometimes, we need to understand the value of life for us to realize that there is only one planet Earth and we don't have an infinity amount of resources that we need. Thank you.